Well, at this point, I'm an assistant professor of legal studies at the University of Mississippi. My primary focus here is teaching in the Bachelor of Paralegal Studies program. Most people, though, outside of Mississippi know me because of my work through the Howard Paralegal blog and the books that I've written to go with that. I looked at paralegals as being the solution to a problem. The American legal system still has a tremendous access to justice problem. There are plenty of lawyers, there may even be too many lawyers for the people who can afford to pay for them, but there are an awful lot of people who do not get the same legal services because they can't afford it. That problem can be solved by paralegals, by using paralegals, provided paralegals become to be regarded with the same level of professionalism as, say, a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant. Every office seems to have their own idea of what a paralegal is and even what sort of training you need to be a paralegal. But the way I've used paralegals and the way they are best used is sort of as a right hand for the attorney. They have a role that is supportive to the attorney, but do many of the same things that the attorney does, but generally with less education, less training, and therefore at less cost. But do the same sort of analytical or critical thinking, the same sort of legal reasoning, the same sort of legal research. In addition to that, though, they provide something that most attorneys don't provide, and that is the ability to have direct communication in a language that clients can understand with clients. But there are people who can fulfill a specific legal role on the legal team and turn a team that might otherwise be just good into a team that's very good to excellent. For the most part, it's a graduated type thing. You might go into an office as a legal secretary. As you get more responsibility, you become a legal assistant. And as you get more responsibility, you become a paralegal. However, in other areas of the country, the terms are used interchangeably. That seems to be changing because paralegal has taken on a connotation that it is more professional and somehow more up the ladder than legal assistant. They can come from a variety of backgrounds, but they also need to have some additional training in order to be a really effective paralegal. Certainly, when I first started practicing, there were very few paralegal schools around, and so you took someone from another background, brought them into your office, and did all your training in your office. That simply isn't acceptable in the legal field professional anymore. They really need to have people come in with at least some background so that they can be taught the particularities of a law office. And the problem is that there's no uniformity in that as yet in the United States. Most states have no rules and regulations, so just about anybody can call themselves a paralegal. The question is, can you actually do what paralegals get paid to do? For the most part, in order to do, you need specific training, at the very least an associate's degree in paralegal studies. It would be better to have a bachelor's degree in paralegal studies. In many cases, lawyers will accept somebody who has a bachelor's degree in another field and then a paralegal certificate. They've got to be sort of go-getters, people who are willing to take on additional tasks, people who are capable of dealing with stress, but mainly people who like people. The paralegal is going to be the person on the legal team that interacts with the clients. So they need to be able to be empathetic with the client at the same time they can be objective. And then the other thing is they need to like to and be willing to think critically and analytically. A good part of their job is going to be to think. I think probably when they start, they're not prepared to manage their time. They're unaware of just how heavy the workload is, and it frequently appears to be heavier than it really is because they just don't understand how to manage it. The second thing is dealing with the way the profession is changing right now. Paralegals are professionals, but they're not always perceived that way by the public or by the attorneys. And so certainly they can go into offices expecting more responsibility and more respect than they get, and they have to adjust to that and help their offices adjust to that so that they are getting the respect and the responsibility they deserve. First of all, it's a career that overall is going to develop more mobility, upward mobility. It is gaining in respect. It is becoming more and more of a profession. And basically, for those who get in on the bottom floor now, their prospects 10 years from now are looking very, very good. But more important, the profession itself is growing. Everyone, the attorneys, businesses, the court system, society as a whole, is realizing that paralegals are our answer to access to justice issues. I think the Bureau of Labor Statistics continues to project that it's going to be one of the fastest growing over the next decade. Even now, when the economy is bad, certainly it is more difficult for everybody to get a job, including paralegals. But it's easier for a paralegal to get a job than it is for a lawyer to get a job. Now, right now, there are no states that require a license for a paralegal or to do paralegal work. There are some states that require that you have a certificate or be registered to be called a specific kind of paralegal. But I do believe that as we go along, states are going to begin to license paralegals to do specific work so that they can have their own businesses, their own offices. I still a ways down the road, but I see that happening. Empowerment is the same regardless of your profession. It's the ability for the person to take control of their career, take control of what they do, rather than let their career or their work control them. For a paralegal, it means knowing more than just about the law. It means knowing how to manage your time, how to manage your workplace, your workload, your docket, your calendar, your clients, and even your relationship with an attorney, and to do it all in a professional way. The first one deals with how do you manage your time, how do you manage your workload, but more importantly, how do you manage the clients you've got to deal with and that person you work for, your attorney. The second one takes and applies that specifically to working with elder clients. Elder clients are a set of clients that are different from everybody else. They pose a whole different set of problems for the paralegal. And they need to be accommodated in a different way, and their files need to be documented in a different way. But more importantly, we have to be careful we don't view them stereotypically. My third is devoted to professionalism, and it's actually written with a number of other authors. I'm acting as the editor on it. And the fourth will be devoted towards understanding causes of action and how they move litigation. I think probably the biggest one is joining professional associations, where they are in contact with other people who are also trying to raise the level of professionalism. But in addition to that, it provides volunteer opportunities, networking opportunities, educational opportunities, and just plain social opportunities that they wouldn't get otherwise. I would say that if you're aspiring to be a paralegal, you are going to run into roadblocks as you will in any other profession. It does take time. It does require an education. You do want to get a degree. You're going to start at an entry level and have to work up. In the end, though, it is one of the most rewarding careers you can have. And I urge you to, if you think it's for you, to try it, to stick with it, to get the help you need. It's out there, and in the end, you'll find it very rewarding.